Hey there, I'm Alan Matthews, and this is a tutorial about a metronome on your phone. For one thing, metronomes are great for your practice. If you're practicing technique work on a classical guitar, any instrument really, then it's a really valuable tool, the metronome. I really suggest doing it primarily in technique work practice and don't use it so much on your pieces. If you're using it a lot in technique work, you won't need to use it as much on pieces. It's not inherently musical, the metronome, but it is a valuable tool to tell you how your inner rhythm is going and to be able to actually put things in time. So the one I want to talk about today is Pro Metronome. It's an app for an iPhone or Android. It's free. There's a paid upgrade with it if you want to get it. I haven't actually gotten the paid upgrade, and so I don't know really how it fares. But it's really good and powerful, easy to use, and very versatile just in its free mode. So that's why I'm recommending this one. So without further ado, let's check out Pro Metronome. Here we go. So this is Pro Metronome. You open it up, and I just want to go through some of the basic features here and show you how to set this up. I don't know how it is whenever you first get it, but to begin, there's this arrow right in the middle, and that's your play button. And it just plays it or stops it. There's also this wheel here that you can turn around. Let's get that back there. You can turn, and that just adjusts your tempo and to your speed that will. And it just shows you up here. And what I like about Pro Metronome is it actually shows you, it actually shows you, let's say that we're here at 74, it actually says Andante up here underneath it. And so it'll tell you what the Andantino, Moderato, it'll show you what all the different metronome markings, what they are as far as in musical terms. So there's that. Now, one of the things that you should do, well, I suggest that you do anyway, is to go down, you can either go down here to this button down here in the bottom left, and what that'll bring up is this page right here. And down here you see all these blue squares. Down here you see all these blue squares, and that's the different subdivisions. And you can buy this if you'd like to. This is like to be able to make eighths or upbeats or triplets or anything like that. We'll talk in a later video about how to do that yourself anyway. So you don't have to get this. I don't have it, but I've got another metronome that does have it. So you can get it if you want to. It's an added extra. But this is the main thing right here. And if you'll notice right here in this, that right here, you have the time signature. And on this left side, you have beat. And so you can increase the beat, and that'll adjust the first number. That's how many beats there are in each measure. And then the second number is over on this side, and it'll adjust those 3/8 versus 3/4, 3/16, 3/32. These are the different kind of notes you can have. I recommend you it doesn't really matter, but you can have 4 just because it's common. It doesn't really matter. But what does matter is the first number, and I would set that to 1. So that way, there's no accents. And what I mean by that is, if you listen to it, all the different sounds are the exact same. Versus, if we go down here and put it up to 2, on this side, put it up to 2, then we have 2 different kind of beats. And that just can get a little bit confusing. Much less in 3 or 4, whatever kind of thing. So you might be tempted to, whatever the time signature of your song is, to put it in that. But I would just put it in 1 and leave it there. Stop it. Okay. The other thing is this button right here. This is the button in the upper left right here. Now you can push this, and this will adjust your sounds. So if you go up, the first is tone. You can have, let me just put this, there's also up here. I have this in pendulum mode right up here, but you can also put it on all beats. You can put only accents and sub-accents. You can do all kind of stuff with it. It doesn't really matter because you're in 1/4, so there are no accents. So this is another. You could have it to where it's like flashing like that. These are all it's just bling. It doesn't really matter any of this. as far as the look if you're in 1/4. But these different tones, you can set the different sound with the you can set the different sounds with the tone. I just put it on number 1. It's just a wood block. The beat block is this. If you look to that, then it'll just do this. And since we're in 1, there's only one of them. So I'm looking at the little purple and green one up at the top. Going back to here, then I'll just put this back to pendulum because that's the way I had it before. The visual block, you can turn that on, you can turn it off. I just have it off. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. A lot of this stuff down here, you can just check out. Some of it's paid features on this, some of it's other. It doesn't really matter. The main thing is that you have 1/4 up here in the top. That's the main thing, and get a tone that you like. That's the main thing. And so then you just have a basic beat that you can speed up and slow down. And that's the bottom line of it. From there, we can actually look at how to use the thing. Now, there's actually one more thing, and this is the tap feature down here. I love this feature. This is in the bottom right over here. And so this is, if you have a particular song, or let's say that you're starting to play some scales, but you don't know what speed to set it at, then you would say, well, I think it's about like this. You might be just, you could just snap and say, I think it's about like that. So then what you could do is you could just tap on it, and it'll show you the tempo that you're tapping. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm somewhere around 83, and then it just sets it to it, and then you're right there with it. And that's really helpful. You can see how fast you're playing a particular song or something like that. You can just tap it. Now that's about at 78. Then you can, whatever, and then you can push play, and then you're right in there with it. So I think that's a really great feature to see. You could also really quickly just, well, what if I played it this fast? And you could just tap it out and see, well, how fast is that? Oh, that's like 190. So it's just a fun little feature to have. So that is Pro Metronome. Okay, so that's Pro Metronome. Now, in these next few videos, we're going to talk about actually how to use the metronome, how to get started on it. If you've not played with the metronome very much before, chances are it's very bothersome. You probably don't like it. I don't know that I've met anyone who actually did like it the first few times they played with it, because it's just very strange and very foreign, very distracting. So we're going to talk about how to get past those things and also how to use it to the most benefit in your practice. So let's move on to the next exciting video on metronome.